Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pete Gemmer. I'm the Director of Communications here at UC Blue Ash College, and I want to thank all of you for joining us for this very special occasion. We're excited to start this new construction project and really appreciate all of you taking part in what is a very historic event for our college. I hope you've had a chance to look at some of the renderings that we have in the back of the new building, as well as some of the interesting facts we were able to gather about that project. These items will be on display in this space throughout the rest of today, and then we'll have them around in different areas on campus over the coming weeks and months. We do have a brief program for you today, and then we'll take some photos, and we're going to be doing that indoors, so we're not asking anybody to go out in the snow. That's what we get for having this in early March, right? But obviously we're very excited about the new project, so we wanted to have this special event to kick it off. There will also be cake for everyone as well. So now I would like to introduce the person who had the vision for this project, and of course the perseverance to make it happen, our Dean, Dr. Katie Short-Thompson.
Well, welcome to snowy Blue Ash. When we scheduled this, we had a feeling that we would want to hold this inside because we have a great ability to predict snow out here. So welcome to Blue Ash. For those of you who are our guests, welcome to UC Blue Ash. We're delighted to have you with us today. As Pete mentioned, this is a historic day, and we're just delighted to finally be at this point in our history. It's a very exciting point for the future of the University of Cincinnati's Blue Ash College. I can tell you that when I became the dean here in 2010, 6 busy years ago, this new building was part of my vision, certainly something that we needed desperately. It very quickly became a part of our priorities, very simply because we knew we were growing and we knew we were already out of space. And so we're delighted to start to remedy those growth challenges that we're so happy to have here at UC Blue Ash. I am proud to say that we began that planning process in my second month here as dean, and so here we are all those years later with renderings and shovels ready to go. So with all of the work that we did in planning it, another big piece of this was saving the money necessary. And for those of you who don't know, this building will be built just from our own revenues. So we have scrimped and saved over those 6 years, and so we are taking our internal funds and some external development dollars to build this building. So even with the money that we had to save, there were many hurdles to run through the university with approvals, and we're so grateful to have the approvals of all of our senior leaders at the university who have supported us not just in this building project, but in so many other ways. It's clear to me that they are behind us all the way and know how important the work is that we do here with our students. I would especially like to recognize Dr. Beverly Davenport, who is the University of Cincinnati's Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost, and she has been an incredible supporter, and she's with us here today. So please help me in saying hello and thank you to her. Beverly, thank you for all that you do every day for the university and for our college. And I'd also like to offer a special welcome to Eileen Strempel. Dr. Strempel is the new Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs at UC, and she is an incredible partner already. Won't you please help me to welcome Eileen? And I'd also like to thank all of those elected officials who have joined us here today. It's always exciting to have you here on campus as well. Namely, State Representative Jonathan Deaver. Will you please stand and be recognized? And State Representative Denise Driehaus. Please stand to be recognized as well. And we have our Blue Ash Mayor, Lee Zerwanka. Lee. And our Blue Ash City Manager, David Waltz. David. And I'm going to introduce many of our City of Blue Ash City Council members and Economic Development Director. Will you please rise all at once and be recognized? Great group of folks. We are so lucky to be in Blue Ash. Blue Ash is a marvelous city. What a great backyard, literally, for all of us to live and to work and to play in so many different ways. So we're grateful to have you here and to support us in all that we do. I also want to thank my team. In particular, I'd like to thank our Director of Facilities and Planning here at UC Blue Ash, and that is Rob Kanar. Rob, will you please stand to be recognized? He'd rather wave, but he's standing. along with the incredible team from the university. Of course, we couldn't do any of this work without Beth McGrew, Craig Viley, Barrett Bamberger, and everyone, frankly, in the planning, design, and construction office in Clifton. They play an incredibly important role in all of these processes and projects, and I simply am very appreciative of your support and your expertise. So I know many of them are here. I see some of them smiling because they're getting somewhere with these projects. So won't you thank me, help me to thank them, rather, for all of the work that we do together. So it really is amazing for me to stand here in this moment and to see it all come together, to become a reality after 6 years of hard work together, lots of saving and planning as a team. And it is so significant to our college for a whole host of different reasons. I can tell you as the leader here that we are very ambitious at this college. We have big dreams, big goals for our student success, and we are so excited to see this building come to fruition because it will enable us to dream bigger and to serve more students in active, profound ways. So we're delighted by the space coming online because we desperately need it. Some of you already know that our enrollments have been on the growth pattern for a number of years. For about a decade, we have grown in over 1,000 students, and we now have over 5,000 students actively enrolled. You can see half of them down the hallway getting lunch. But this space is designed on this campus. This whole facility only is designed right now to accommodate 3,500 students. So with 5,000 plus students, we are crammed. We need extra space. So we're delighted to be at this stage in our history. This new building that we have designed has 8 classrooms and about 20 offices, and we are so excited what it will mean for us. It will mean additional teaching space. It will mean improved offices for the many faculty we have hired over the last decade who frankly either share an office or have cubes, and so this will provide much needed faculty office spaces and classrooms, and also more space for our students to be. So we're excited about what that will mean for our staff and for our faculty. It will give us new classrooms, new ways to be actively engaged in teaching our students. But those office spaces are really important to us too, not just so that they can grade papers and meet with students, but so they can really mentor our students, because our student population is thriving because of the interactions they have with their faculty. So it will also benefit our faculty by having incredible technology in the classroom. We are building state-of-the-art technology classrooms with lots of daylight, fewer bricks, lots of daylight. So we're excited about all the windows in this new design. And we're also excited about just the flexibility and variety of the classrooms that we're building together. We're very excited about the time ahead of us. What I will say is while the new building will certainly enhance our campus and our facility, we're also excited about what's ahead of us in addition. What many of you know is that this space will allow us to redesign and rebuild Muntz Hall, which we're in today, and which is an enormous classroom building, 1967, and a lot of space that needs to be renovated. To give you a sense of just how quickly we're moving from building a new building to renovating the next space, my morning was spent in design conversations for the second and third floor. So we're excited about what is ahead of us as we renovate this building. It can't wait to be renovated. The building speaks to me and says, I'm ready, okay? And we are ready for it as well. So we're very excited, as you can certainly tell, and we know that we will be talking more and more about the months renovation planning in the months ahead. But most of all, we're excited about what does it mean to be a growing, thriving college and to have the facilities to allow us to do our best work. So I will say very simply that groundbreaking events are a chance for us to pause and to say, look where we've come, look how far we've come, look what we're doing together, and to be very thankful to each of you for the role that you've played in helping us to get there. So each of you, in one way or another, has been instrumental in the college's success and in our success in planning this new space. And I will say, speaking of the future and what it will mean, we will have a great event somewhere around 2017 where we actually have a ribbon cutting for the new building to open. What will the exact date be? Well, it's always difficult to get architects to commit to an exact date, but I know we will have a date for you, and keep an eye on summer of 2017 when certainly we will populate your calendars. So with that, it is my great pleasure to introduce my provost, Beverly Davenport, who supports us in this project and every day. Beverly?
Good work gets done because of leaders, And while I couldn't be happier that we have another new building coming online because we sure need it, I am just thrilled to have an opportunity to thank Katie Short-Thompson. When you have a number of deans, you just couldn't be more grateful when each one of them have the passion and the vision to lead their college in ways that make good things happen. I came to the University of Cincinnati 2.5 years ago to be a part of the enthusiasm and what I keep calling this upward trajectory. I knew there was a lot going on, but I sure didn't know just how much. I didn't know the reach, and I certainly didn't know the momentum and the tenacity of so many people. I didn't know Blue Ash, quite frankly, and I didn't know Claremont, and I didn't know this entire state. I didn't know that 200 years ago, the University of Cincinnati set out on a course. Well, we have about 4 more years before 200 years. I didn't know that almost 50 years ago, this state had a vision that this place right here, that Blue Ash, had a vision that if a student could begin with 2 years, that they could go on to perhaps 4 years. That Blue Ash College of the University of Cincinnati blazed that trail. I couldn't be prouder that the University of Cincinnati was the institution in the state of Ohio who set that course into motion. I didn't know Katie Short-Thompson was going to be the dean that took this college to that next level. John McNay is standing back there in the background. Thank you, John McNay, for I hope being one of the people on the search committee that voted for my candidacy to be the next provost. You don't have to say whether you were or not. But I didn't know at the time that he was a leader in the state of Ohio arguing about the importance of teaching. We are at a crossroads in this country where people are bold enough to ask the question, does higher education even matter? That you cared enough to come today, I hope, means that you care enough to say, it is now and for my foreseeable future, the very best investment we can make in a future that is worth living, the very best investment in a return that's going to answer the grand challenges that we are facing, not only as a nation, but certainly as a world, as a planet. There are complex issues, and our students can begin learning right now in a classroom where they have faculty who care enough to guide them on that course. They have faculty who care enough to sit with them, advisors and staff and deans, who can envision not only a learning space, and those spaces are sometimes virtual spaces, those spaces are sometimes bricks and mortars because we need those too. Those spaces are sometimes on shuttles that are going back and forth, and Dean Short-Thompson told me 75,000, is that right? Oh, good grief, I can't even remember. 86,000 rides back and forth from Blue Ash to Clifton. We are so intertwined between these campuses, and we need those rides, and we need those exchanges, and we need opportunities where students start for 1 year, for 2 years, for 4 years, for 6 and 8 years to get an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's, and a PhD. I can't thank you enough for joining with us. It's taking all of us. It will continue to. Our council people, our state legislators, our faculty, and our staff. It is an amazing enterprise. It has changed my life. I feel so privileged to be a part of a learning environment. It is complex. It is not free. It will never be free. But it is. Just will put that in. But I will close by telling you it still is the best investment, whether it is these bricks and mortars. And I'm delighted to be here today to celebrate the vision that the dean had, the commitment that the faculty and staff had, the support that all of you bring to this new beginning for Blue Ash. I think we'll have many more of these buildings, and I'm so proud to be a part of the University of Cincinnati and specifically to the Blue Ash campus. Thank you, Katie, for having me today.
Thank you, Beverly. As always, I appreciate you and your support. And next, I'm pleased to introduce to you Rob Kanar, who serves as Director of Facilities and Planning here at UC Blue Ash. Rob? Clap for Rob.
Well, thank you, Katie. The start of any construction project from a engineer's perspective, at least, is always very exciting. It's kind of like opening day in baseball. Everybody's smiling, getting along, shaking hands and slapping hands and stuff. And then all of a sudden, through a construction project, it starts to get a little challenging, and the smiles go away a little bit, and it's just a grind until the end, and then we're ribbon cutting. So it's kind of like a bell curve of stress, I like to say. But it was very exciting, and a project on a college campus is even more special because usually it signifies a major change or initiative. And I know a few things have been talked about from the academic side, but from the facility side, I'm extremely excited about this project because it's taken the next step, continued step forward in modernizing our campus. I mean, as you all are mostly aware, we have a very old building that we're sitting in. It's been built in '67 and '73 or '74 was added on to. So it's and many of the things that were built in 1967 are still here. And I have to kind of disclose that some of the voices you're hearing, I think, are actually my maintenance team talking through the ductwork. Please replace this equipment. But in recent years, we have taken some pretty good strides in some of the areas along the first floor, namely the library, the Bleecker Street, the finish through the corridors, and the one-stop area. And these are significant programming and finish improvements, but it only scratched the surface on what is truly required in the building itself. Now, breaking ground on this new building, in my mind, is that next critical step, and that we're in that overall campus modernization process. When you look at the renderings and you see some of the things that are going to be in the building, it kind of establishes a template for us as we plan for the future and what we're going to do for our next projects. Katie alluded to some of the glass. As I get into more of these projects and renovations and new buildings, and I see the existing campus compared to the new, I start to think that there was a phobia of natural light in the 60s and 70s because there's hardly any windows in any buildings on college campuses. And the more buildings we built, the more glass we tend to add to buildings, which is great from my perspective. I knew I was talking to Mariah, and that's the first thing she said to me today was, I love all the glass that's going in all these buildings. So that's good to hear. We're doing a good job on that perspective. In the new building, the main, as you see in the rendering, the essential part of there's a 2-story curtain wall system that's going to just kind of like Walter's, where it's going to flood the building with natural light. The offices are around the perimeter of the building, that all of them have their own window, which I'm very jealous of because I don't have a window in my office. But she always says that. She always says, "Oh," she never changes it. She never changes it. On the classroom side, the new building will have 8 new classrooms. And every classroom will have that the smart AV technology that, quite frankly, students and faculty come to expect in classrooms. And nowadays, the fact that we are still cleaning chalkboards kind of tells you where the status of some of our classrooms in this building are. And so I'm extremely excited about the spaces that we're going to be providing in the new building. In addition to the technology, the furniture is going to be in more of a flexible type of arrangements and different types of furniture to allow and foster more of the active learning that I've heard a lot about over the last couple of weeks in the month's programming meetings, which is good. Now, in the long term, obviously the new building that we're building is going to be taking care of a lot of the current space needs as well as the future space needs to accommodate the growth, which is great. In the short term, however, it's going to be an important element of the Munch renovation project, as we're going to use that new building as the swing space for the project that we're going to do in this building. As Katie mentioned, I've spent 2 of the last 3 weeks of my life sitting through programming and planning meetings for the Munch renovation project, and it's an extremely exciting project, but it's going to be an extremely complicated project as well. And I know it sounds cliche, but no pain, no gain, and there's going to be a lot of pain in this one, but there's going to be a lot of gain as well in the Munch renovation. The plan is to start construction on that project in the summer of 2017. There was a kickoff meeting this morning with, I see a couple of our new friends from Elford Construction here. I wasn't able to attend that meeting, but I got a synopsis from Barrett and Phil, and they claimed that it's going to be the first perfect construction project in the history of construction. Is that right?
Not the
nodding their head. That's good to hear. So that means that we will be done in the summer of 2017, and we'll be ready then to start moving people over, because that Munch renovation project is going to be like 5 to 6 phases. So it's going to be, like I said, very complicated. I do want to thank as well. I want to thank our my friends from PDC, which Craig and Barrett and Phil and especially Beth. I'm just a small piece of what they do, and I've been on their side of the fence, and it's a very challenging and complicated world, and I truly appreciate your guys' effort. And as you can see, today is a very special day in the history of UC Blue Ash. I'm very excited to be a part of it, so thank you.
Thank you. And so now I'm happy to introduce someone who represents why we work, and she is one of our students. You know, all of us get up every day here at UC Blue Ash thinking about students and learning and teaching and supporting them, and so it only seemed appropriate to have one of our best and brightest come and speak with you about this project and why she thinks that it's important. So I just want to tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Mariah Emery, and she is a sophomore, and she's studying speech pathology, and she is one of our student ambassadors. And if you don't know what that means, it simply means best and brightest. So please help me to welcome her to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I am really excited, and I also want to thank the dean, the leaders that are making this project possible. UC Blue Ash is definitely the best place to be right now. I am proud to be a student at UC Blue Ash, and it has definitely helped me grow personally, academically, and just helped me grow professionally. I can definitely attribute this to my amazing professors, and specifically one professor that nominated me to be a student orientation leader, and now I'm a Curtin student ambassador. It is an amazing experience and better than I could have ever expected. Like I said, I'm a third-year student here, and I will be transitioning next year to Clifton's campus, and I am majoring in communications and sciences and disorders, and I will eventually go into my master's program to be a speech pathologist. While I'm very excited about my near steps in the future, I am definitely enjoying everything about being a student at UC Blue Ash. One thing I like so much about our college is the beautiful campus. I get to experience it every day, and I actually hear comments when I give tours about the green space and the small classes and the different labs that we offer here. They often comment about how it's bigger than they expected, and how it provides such a nice setting for our college. It's exciting to think about having a brand new building that we can show off, and it will definitely enhance the feel of our campus. I was just talking to someone the other day about, I can't believe that I'm going to be that parent one day saying, I can't believe that we have new changes. I was given a tour one day, and a lot of parents say, I remember when this was Raymond Walters College, and I hear that often. It's also exciting to think about the new classrooms, how they benefit students. I love my classes, but some of our current classrooms need a little help. It's great that the renovation to Munch Hall will address that. We have already seen what an impact our new library, cafe, and commons have had on our campus. A lot of students like to hang out there and do their homework and meet. They have definitely brought more of a community feel to the college. Since you see so many students staying on campus between classes to study, work together on projects, or just hanging out with friends, it's definitely been a huge improvement. I know the new building will also improve the experience to add a community feel to the students for years to come. It's definitely a great experience to be here at UC Blue Ash. And so on the behalf of our current and future students, thank you again for supporting this project and for making this building a reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so I will simply end by saying that we have an opportunity to celebrate with photographs in front of the renderings rather than outside. We have gold shovels, and we will not be digging into the actual lobby, but the ceremonial idea will be there anyhow. And so you gotta have some gold shovels, right? So we'll have a moment for photographs in the back, and then we also have a chance to have some refreshments with an image of the new building on the cake just right here in the hallway. So please join us just for a few more moments with photographs and with refreshments. And most of all, I simply want to say I want to thank you for your support and thank you for taking the time out of your very busy days to be with us. So onward we go, new building. Here we go. Thank you.